I asked the same question after the Sporting Lisbon game and we carried on losing. So the question remains, have we hit rock bottom? Where does this hole that we find ourselves in end? I thought the best way to find out would actually be to get a rock and find out if we are actually in rock bottom by dropping it down a hole. Oh. Oh, Ruben Amorim, it's hit him on the head. It's hit Ruben Amorim on the head. I didn't realise it went down that far, to be honest. What a hole you find yourself in. You all right down there, mate? You okay? How was Ipswich?
It was fucking shit. These players, they're fucking shit.
It's not being good, being a Manchester United fan still. Even with Ruben Amorim, they're still not winning, you know? So it could be worse. It could be worse being a Manchester City fan, and it could still get worse, in truth, because we are facing Feyenoord, a game we should be winning, but a team that has been mixed with their fixtures so far, with so many injuries to their name as well. We talk about an injury crisis for Manchester City, for example. We've got so many players out, but they've got 9 players missing for this game. So many, and I'll get onto the team news shortly, but this is a situation now where Manchester City can finally stop the rot. 5 losses in a row. Surely we don't go to 6, because then obviously we can nip that in the bud. That statement, 5 losses in a row, is what the media are running with right now. They seem to continuously run with that. Understandable, to be fair, because I mean, if we were if the shoe was on the other foot, we'd be doing the same to anyone else who was in such a dire situation that Manchester City find themselves in right now. But we've got to stop the rot. I feel like we will. Surely this is the game we go and win. But again, we're in a must-win game, to be honest, because there's 4 games left. We currently sit 10th in the Champions League table. So we're not in the automatic places yet. We have more football to play should we find ourselves finishing this league table in 10th. We need to get into the top 8, just to remind you, to progress automatically into the next rounds of the knockout stages of the Champions League. We do not want to be playing more football matches in playoff games in this round. Okay, and we've got 4 games left. We have to win this game because our next 2 games are away from home, away to Juventus and away to PSG. And then all of a sudden, we could be in a really big problem here where we're getting knocked out of the Champions League, or at least having to face playoff games where we have an equal potential of getting knocked out as well, because at that point, it becomes knockout football, just with more games to actually play. And then, of course, we've got Club Brugge at home as the final game of the season. Surely that's a game that we can hopefully relax a little bit. Because if we go and win our next Champions League 3 games, including Juventus and PSG, and tomorrow night against Feyenoord, then surely we go on and progress automatically into the next rounds of the Champions League. But the fact that we're facing Feyenoord, an injury-riddled Feyenoord side, doesn't mean we're going to beat them, because they've got an incredible away record so far this season. They have played 4 games themselves, like we have. They got battered by Bayer Leverkusen in the first game of the season, but the games that they are winning are away from home. And I've got the fixture lists here in front of me. They battered Benfica 3-1 away from home, and they beat Girona 3-2 away from home. So they're not easy places to go, and they're picking up 3 points in both Benfica and the Girona games away from home. So they've been travelling very well this season. They also lost to RB Salzburg most recently in a 3-1 defeat, where they went down to 10 men as well, which is another player that's their playmaker. Kevin Nagy is going to be missing for them in that game as well, in our game rather, because he's suspended, picking up that red card against RB Salzburg. So it's mixed. They're 4th in the Eredivisie, 8 points behind the runaway leaders of PSV Eindhoven. Sounds a familiar story. 8 points behind the runaway leaders. Sounds familiar, that, doesn't it? Can they claw it back? Can Manchester City claw it back? That's a different tournament for another day. But I mean, the team news for Manchester City, this is pre-Pep, don't forget. So I haven't heard from Pep, because I'm hearing that Stones was picked up an injury at halftime. That's what I'm hearing on the grapevine. So hopefully it's nothing serious and he could potentially play in this game. But I mean, if he's nursing an injury, which I believe some of them are, I'm hearing Akanji's nursing injuries right now, but still playing. There are players that are carrying injuries, even the ones that are playing right now. So we're in a really difficult predicament right now. But let's talk about who's definitely out. Rodri, Bob, Kovacic and Diaz, those are definitely out of this game. Diaz could be back for the Liverpool game, so I mean, if that's a possibility, do not risk him against Feyenoord, because we need him more against Liverpool, in truth. But like I said, Stones is a doubt, and Doku is a doubt again for this game. Should you be risking him in this game if he's a doubt? I don't think it's worth the risk, to be honest. I'd rather see him start the game against Liverpool and have something, a wild card, a fresh, new ideas, something that's going to cause problems. He is a problem maker, isn't he? He causes problem for opposition, and I'd like to see him be fresh, fully fit, raring to go against Liverpool. So I'm not sure he's going to be playing in this game, even if he is fit. Maybe on the bench and get a little cameo at the end of the game. Hopefully we're winning the game comfortably by then, because that would be nice. Feyenoord team news. Injury crisis for them. 9 players missing. So we have no excuses. No excuses. No matter what. We've got to win this game. And even if we win the game, we should be winning the game. So it's not like we're going to get a pat on the back off anybody. We've got to beat Feyenoord and beat them convincingly. And even then, it doesn't stop the rot for me, because I think it's like, yeah, this is a game we should be winning. We've now got to go to Anfield and do not lose. That's the bare minimum we need to get from Anfield. We need to get a draw. So this game is a really good test for City, just to shake off the horrible cobwebs that are covering us right now, the rust. We're so rusty, and it's not good enough right now. We need to fix this, and it's a good game for that. But we're not going to get recognition like, oh, City are back. No, we've got to beat Feyenoord, and we should be beating Feyenoord, in all honesty. So the fact that they're covered in injuries as well makes it even more of a game where we definitely should be winning this game. But their playmaker, like I said already, Chris Kevin Nagy is suspended following the RB Salzburg red card that he got. So this is it. They're missing their main playmaker, their main striker, their captain, and their number 1 goalkeeper. We have no excuses, like I said. So the main striker, they're missing Santiago Jimenez, captain Quinten Timber, and number 1 goalkeeper Justin Bijlao. So also out, Hugo Bueno, Latomba, Ueda, Osman and Hartman, all missing for Feyenoord. So we should be absolutely walking this. Let's have a look at my predicted starting 11. I'm only going to go with City on this one because, I mean, with the amount of injuries that Feyenoord have got, I have no idea what they're going to do. I'm not going to pretend. I'm not a big expert on the Eredivisie, to be honest, so I don't know what they're going to do. With the starting 11, I could possibly help you, but the fact that 9 of their players are missing, I have no idea what they're going to do. So we should be winning regardless of the 11 that they put out, because they're covered with injuries. For City, we've got injuries ourselves, but again, like I keep stressing, no excuses. Ederson in goal for me. We could see Stefan Ortega, because, I mean, this is the sort of game where he could be trusted between the 6. I trust him no matter what, to be honest. In all games, I trust Ortega. The back line for Manchester City, I think we're going to see Kyle Walker again, because, again, I'm not sure what else we do with the likes of Diaz and potentially Stones being out. Akanji, who's carrying an injury right now, sorry, mate, he could be thrown into the mix as well. I think Nathan Ake, give Josko Gvardiol a rest, get him ready for Liverpool, give him a rest, Nathan Ake. Right, now we're into the midfield. This is the area of the pitch that Manchester City fans are very concerned about, and I'm hearing a lot of people want to see Matheus Nunes in the defensive midfield position. Now, I can see there's a really good logic to Nunes playing in that position. I keep hearing people saying, that's the reason we signed him. He's a midfielder. We signed him as a midfielder. Play him as a midfielder. Again, perfectly reasonable logic. The fact that he's played left wing, he's done very well on the left wing, but I agree with what people say, that he is a midfielder, so let's play him as a midfielder. My concern is that position isn't just about speed and physicality, which he's definitely going to deliver for Manchester City. He's going to offer that. Something that we've been missing, a physical presence with speed to prevent the transitions and the counter-attacks. He's the perfect player for that. The question is, when we've got the ball, can he play out from the back? Can he be that player to face Ederson? This is so important to that position. Can you play in the defensive pockets in midfield to receive the ball off of Akanji or Walker or Nathan Ake, whoever's playing in that back line, or Ederson, firing it into you hard with a Feyenoord player breathing down your neck? And that's the point why I think Nunes should be trusted for this game, but not for the Liverpool game, because the players that we're going up against Feyenoord won't test him anywhere near the level of Liverpool's press. You think about Mo Salah closing you down. Terrifying. It's terrifying because they have an intense press, Liverpool. Darwin Nunes is going to be breathing down your neck. Can you control that ball under pressure, on the half turn, spin the attacking press, and send City away the other way and send us into an attacking position? Can you do that? Because it's the reason Calvin Phillips is wearing an Ipswich shirt right now, because he could not do it, and he was signed as a midfielder to do that exact job, but he could not receive the ball from the back line and couldn't be trusted. When he gets the ball and has space in front of him, Calvin Phillips can see the pitch in front of him, no problem. That's it. That's his forte. Spraying long diagonals all over the pitch. Calvin Phillips is good at that. No problem, but he couldn't receive the ball from Ederson in tight spaces. We saw him go to West Ham and give the ball away on his debut for West Ham, doing exactly that for, I think it was Solanke who scored for Bournemouth last season. Go and watch Calvin Phillips' debut and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. The same can be said for Matheus Nunes, because it's untested. Can he receive the ball in tight spaces under pressure? it's a test for him, this Feyenoord game. I think he should be trusted to do it. It'll be interesting to see because surely we don't play Gundogan. Surely Gundogan's now rested for this game, considering his age, considering the circumstances. We need fresh players in that midfield. And if you plan on playing Gundogan against Liverpool, which again is up for debate, if you plan on doing that, then surely you do not play him against Feyenoord because he will need resting for that Liverpool game. So I'm going to go with Matheus Nunes in the middle for this game as a defensive midfielder that will probably be pushing up a little bit as well as a result. And Rico Lewis, who will be inverting a little bit. So going back to that system, going back to the system that I think Pep ignored against Spurs, without the ball, we went to a 4-3-3, didn't we, with Bernardo Silva, Gundogan and Rico Lewis, and then Foden, who was inverting and getting out of the way of Gvardiol, Savinho and Haaland up top. I'm not sure that system worked because we lost 4-0. I say I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it didn't work. We got battered, so it didn't work. Who goes in front of them with Kevin De Bruyne? The same for what I said about Gundogan can be said about Kevin De Bruyne. I think you could start him in this game, but do you want to risk starting him in this game when Liverpool's round the corner? Again, not worth it for me. I'm going to go with Bernardo Silva in the middle, who needs to have a good game. Phil Foden, same can be said about him. I mean, same can be said about Erling Haaland, who I'd put in there. And in fact, I'll make this team a little bit, because I'm not doing Feyenoord, am I? So there you go. Let's spread them out a little bit and make it look a bit easier to understand. But there's that box in the middle that Pep seems to have gone against that now. We've gone a bit flatter in our midfield, which it didn't work against Spurs. I'd like to see this system come back a little bit sooner. I'm going to go with Savinho, who another player that needs to have a good game, and Grealish, who gave the ball away for their 4th goal against Spurs. I think he also needs to have a good game, and I'd like to see him start. That's my predicted starting 11. I'm going to go 3-1 City. What are your predictions? Get in the comments below. Don't forget to come and join me for the watch-along that I'll be doing tomorrow night. Don't forget, come and join me. Drop a like on the video. See you in the next one. Take care, Blues.
This is typical City now, holding up Silva.